So,
what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Weekly Top 5s from Library Chess Productions. And this time around, this video should come with a trigger warning because we're going to be talking about pet peeves, our top 5 biggest pet peeves. I'm going to kick us off this time with my number 5 biggest pet peeve, and it's the one that comes with the asterisk because it's the one that has the least amount of credibility because it's me being critical and pissy about something that I don't actually do. And so my number 5 is bad drivers. Bad drivers drive me insane. No pun intended. But like they do, like bad drivers make me nuts. Like when I'm just out walking and I see someone doing something stupid behind the wheel of a vehicle, because I'm just like, if I don't drive, which I don't, and neither does he, but if I don't drive and I know you're being an idiot, then you should know better. So I have no credibility in my arguments, but man, does it ever just get under my skin when I see somebody do something stupid while operating a vehicle. So bad drivers is my number 5.
yeah, that's a fun of pet peeves. You know, they can be irrational hatred.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it can be just sort of totally out in left field. It's like, I don't even know why this bothers me so much, but it does.
Like everyone has these little things that just bother them, and most of the time they're not a big deal, but we're making them a big deal for the sake of this video.
Exactly.
But with drivers, like, you gotta try to, I know everyone makes mistakes, you gotta try to be smart because you're driving a death machine.
Yes.
You gotta try to be as smart as possible. I know no one's perfect, but you gotta try.
Yeah. Also, if we curse a little extra in this video, apologies ahead of time, but pet peeves get under our skin.
Okay, moving on to mine. It's considerably less dangerous than yours.
Okay.
But my number 5 is just when people don't say thanks when you do little things for them. Like you open a door, just say thanks.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It happens to me a lot at work, like with coworkers of like people just. I mean, quite a few of them say thanks, but just you open the door, just say thanks.
Yeah.
When someone does a little act of kindness, just say thanks. That's all it comes down to. And again, just a little pet peeve because it's just a little thing like thanks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Then go about your day. I don't even have anything to explain about that. Just be kind.
No, exactly. You know, gratitude. I like to make gratitude a pretty significant part of my life. Like, I mean, like every time anybody like makes a meal for me, I'm like, oh my god, thank you. Like on a daily basis. Thanks and gratitude is very important, and it's nice to have a workplace culture that is set up that way. Yeah. But if you don't, it can be really frustrating.
Yep.
All right, my number 4 biggest pet peeve is what I like to call the bullshitter. Now, the bullshitter is a particular type of person. And I define the bullshitter as the person who talks to hear themselves talk. They don't really have a point to make. And you run into this on the internet on an hourly basis. Not even on like a 10-minute basis. You run into people. If you go to any comment section of anything, it is filled with these people. And the bullshit or the BSer derails every attempt at an actual conversation or an argument or a debate or whatever, because they're not interested in hearing another opinion, potentially having their mind changed, or even conceptualizing a universe where they may be wrong. And that really gets under my skin, and it's hard to keep that in check. But what I've found, what I'm doing now is right from the get-go, I'm trying to establish how much of a degree of a BSer is this person. And if it's like 0 to 20%, great. If it's 50% or more, I'm like, this is a waste of time. So the BSer is my number 4.
Now you've just invited trolls to our video.
Absolutely.
Guess what? We triggered them. I hate
triggering intensifies.
I hate troll culture.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the desire to piss people off to some degree because I still kind of have a little bit of that. But it depends on who you are and how you have come at me. What I don't like is trolls who their whole life is just doing that. But with that said, so people don't think I'm triggered, I'm not annoyed that they're saying mean things or being BSers.
Right.
I'm bored by it.
Yeah.
So you're not winning against me because I'm just bored by you, because I'm just like, oh, there's another one, and then I just go about my day.
And you know what? I'm gonna be a gun jumper. My number 3 is wannabe trolls. Okay. I'm a gun jump. You can do 4 and 3 after this, but I'm gonna get this out of the way because it's part of the conversation now. My number 3 is wannabe trolls. Of the people on the internet who call themselves trolls, there's 2 very distinct groups. There's the 10% of them that are, and there's the 90% of them that think they are. And the 90% are the wannabes, and they're the ones that are the most annoying but also the easiest to ignore.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it's for them it's boring because it's just the same note over and over and over again. And then you have the actual 10% that are actually like original and actually seems like they put care into it.
Yeah, like I know they shouldn't exist, but I kind of like there's been times in like chat rooms, like when I used to kind of hang out with them, where somebody would say something like, that was funny, and the room hated them.
Of course,
they hated them, and I was just there talking to them, and they were cool with me because like I didn't go, oh, get out of here. Yeah. Like I see people arguing with trolls, insulting the trolls, thinking, yeah, I got them. I'm like, no, you didn't, because they got exactly what they wanted from you.
Exactly.
Me, I'm just like, oh, that was funny.
Right. It's far more pathetic than the 10% of trolls that are actually good at it.
Yeah.
And like I say, and original and actually entertaining. It's far more pathetic because it's so try hard and it's not nearly as effective. So the wannabe trolls are my number 3. So now Tyler's going to hit you with his number 4 and his number 3 because I'm a gun jumper.
People who think that rabbits are just cute animals and put no thought into getting one, so then they end up being abandoned. And this applies to any animal. I just happen to have a bunny.
Right.
And I've noticed the considerable lack of knowledge on bunnies, even though they are a popular animal amongst people. But like, you could get a dog and a cat and have a pretty good idea of how to give them a decent life.
Yes.
So I mean, there's things you can do better, but most people have a general understanding that so they don't die. But with rabbits, I've just noticed with people like where they thought, oh, they just eat pellets. It's like, well, no, they should eat hay. Right? It's just little things, and if you don't know, that's great. If you don't have a rabbit, you don't know, that's fine. But they're one of the most bought animals and most abandoned animals, and I hate seeing people just pick, oh, they're cute, like especially around Easter.
Yes,
they're so popular because bunnies. It's like, oh, I'll just get a bunny for Easter, and then they either die or it's like, well, we can't handle this because they're more expensive and harder to deal with, although they're not that hard to deal with, but they have their own ways. In a general sense, any animal, learn what you're getting before you get it. And there's always going to be life lessons and things to learn because I thought I was pretty educated on my bunny before I got him, and I've learned things since. Do some research before you get an animal because the last thing we need is more abandoned animals. Treat them with respect. Do your homework. That's a pet peeve of mine. Alright, my number 3 is this overly PC culture we live in.
PC. Progressive conservative. No.
I love that our society is being progressive in the sense of trying to put an end to sexism, racism, all this stuff. That's commendable. It's great. But I also hate that we haven't lost, and this might just be a vocal minority that get upset by it, but I hate that we have to watch what we say so much.
Right.
And things are taken so out of context, and you can't say a word without people being really offended by it. Mm-hmm. Without really kind of understanding the context. I'm gonna use a slur against women, but you could call a guy a dick and it would be the same thing.
Right.
If you call a girl a bitch because she's being a bitch, you're not being sexist. You're using a slur to describe how she's acting that relates to her. Mm-hmm. Right? It'd be like if you're being a dick.
Yeah.
You use a dick because we have a dick and you're being an asshole, right? So, like, that's not sexist.
We all have assholes.
Right, but you can't say anything anymore. And the reason it bothers me, not because I want to go around calling people bitches and dicks and cunts and faggots, and I just swore a whole bunch, because I'm not afraid to use the word. No, but like, I don't want to go around calling people that, unless it's my friends as a joke. But I feel like it actually hurts their cause because now you're annoying people to the point that now they want to say the word. I would argue that you almost got to try to just not care about the word because like there's going to be these people who are going to think, oh, this annoys people, let's say it. The fact that someone like me is actually even getting annoyed at how PC we are is kind of a problem because like I want the world to be a much better place, but I feel like this is hurting because all you ever hear about now is people complaining about how nowadays you can't say anything. And it's various age groups, from older people to younger people, like we can't say anything anymore. And I don't think where we're going is the way that we should be going, like or the way we're trying to get there. Because the pendulum swings and is going too far.
Right.
And now if this was causing people to not say the words anymore, I wouldn't be saying this. I'd be like, okay, that's cool. But like, if you take a comedian, this comedian says something offensive. It's a joke.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're comedians.
Like, I can't really make generalizations anymore without my immediate thought being, well, I don't mean all whatever. And I'm not necessarily saying that that's a bad thing. It's just something that I've noticed. Maybe it's been taken a bit too far. I think with the best of intentions, but like neither one of us disagree with kind of where we want to get to.
No,
it's just a matter of like how we get there. Like, and kind of to your point where it's just like ban the language. It's like, well, it's the language is not the problem. It's the way you use the language.
Yeah,
that's the problem. It's a really complicated issue, but I do have a weird relationship with how we're going about it. So my number 2 biggest pet peeve is the one I'm going to spend about 10 seconds on, and it's only because I work in retail. If I didn't work retail, I wouldn't have this pet peeve. Okay.
Hey, don't look at my list.
No, I'm not looking at anything. I'm just looking at... No price on this? I guess that means it's free.
Damn it, I hate that.
Really? And that's really all I have to say, because it's just, oh my god, does that ever drive me insane? It's, oh, there's no list of price on this, it must be free. I'm like, no it's not. If it's got a barcode, it scans, it's got a price on it, doesn't mean it's free, and I kind of want to punch you.
This is like possibly the definition of pet peeve.
Yes.
It's so irrational because a lot of time, I mean, you get these people who are like, oh, it's got to be free, and they mean it.
Right.
And that's like, no, shut up. But you get these people that's just a joke. But you hear it so much that you get annoyed, and I'm trying not to, I don't take it out on them because I know it's not their fault. They're just like if I'm putting out eggs or something, it's like, they say the same couple things. Say one for me while you're down there. Or, oh, the hens were busy, and they're not trying to be mean.
No, not at all.
It's at all. So you're trying
In fact, they're trying to be nice.
Yeah, they're trying to be completely
They're trying to be personable.
But it drills itself into your brain to the fact that you hate hearing it. It's like a trigger word, basically.
Yeah.
Alright. My next one.
This would be your number 2?
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright. Here's my number 2. People who take out their phones during a movie at a theater.
Ooh, yeah.
It drives me up the wall.
It's true. I've been guilty of it when you and I have gone to movies together.
I hate you when you do it. I never do it, unless like where it's just me and you. And
right. That's why I try not to do it. I try desperately not to do it.
So basically, I'm going to rant about him. Okay.
I'm going to just sit back and take this.
If you can't just leave your phone in your pocket.
Do I have pit stains? No, okay, I think I'm okay.
If you can't leave your phone in your pocket for 2 hours, don't go to the movie. It's disrespectful. It's a simple rule to follow.
Yeah,
that's
a great point.
That's all I got.
I mean, it ties in with people that go to a movie and then are talking while the movie's playing. It's like, you're not at your house. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Wow, I think that was the most Canadian sounding sorry I've ever said. Sorry.
It's alright. I forgive you.
See, that's the thing. I don't think you do.
I don't.
And my number 1 biggest pet peeve, I might as well let you say it because I'm sure you know exactly what it is. It's arrogant jaywalkers, and it's the one thing that makes me feel the most like an old man, because I just, like, we live in a small town. I can't get over the number of people that, like, in our particular downtown, there are multiple crosswalks in a very short walking distance, and it's a pretty heavily trafficked street, right? One of the most heavily trafficked in town. Instead of walking to the crosswalk, which has lights, which is governed to keep you safe, instead they'll just walk out into the street like it's like the 1840s and it's a one-horse town. Like, that's not the way it works. You know what? If it's 3 o'clock in the morning and there's no traffic, go home and go to bed. But you're doing that, it's fine. Or if you're homeless, I'm sorry. I apologize. But, like, it's just, it blows me away every time it happens. And sorry, it doesn't blow me away. It just makes me angrier. That's what it does. It just makes me angrier that, like, and now I'll just start saying it, like, kind of under my breath a little bit, but sometimes a little louder than I intended. Someone will be walking away and I'll be like, crosswalk's literally right over there. Just stop being lazy. And again, you're putting your own life at risk, because as a motorist, I am under no obligation to stop for you. And in the competition of car versus human, car's gonna win every time. So I don't know, it so bothers me every time it happens. And I just, like, every time it happens, I just, like, it just tosses another one on the pile. So the arrogant jaywalker is my number one biggest pet peeve.
It annoys me too, because especially since that particular street, the crosswalks are so close.
Yeah,
they're so close. Just go to it, or they walk out in front of cars when the cars are coming, and it stops traffic.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
The crosswalk is right there.
Exactly.
Just use it.
But the people that will just like if, and okay, good, you can see my visual. So if this is the street and I'm here, I'll, like, walk up to the street and I'll just walk very slowly out into the street.
Yeah.
Like, staring at the car, being like, are you gonna stop for me? And if I was driving the car, I'd be like, why?
Yeah.
What motivates me to stop for you right now? Because if I run you over and we go to court over it, you were jaywalking and there's cameras. But some people just want to fight the system, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't need your crosswalks.
Yeah, that's one of the laws that's,
It's a free country. That's another one. That's one that could have made this list. People saying it's a free country and not understanding what that means.
My number one is kind of a few things related to each other, I think, so I kind of grouped them together.
Okay.
But the basic gist of my number one is people with the victim mentality, and I'm not talking like, since, like, black people feeling that the system's against them. That's not what I'm talking about. Right. I'm talking just regular people who walk through life thinking everything bad is happening to them when it's no worse for them than anyone else. People at work I've known over the years and whatever, like, if you say, okay, I'm going home now, right, getting off,
Yep.
oh, it must be nice, like, acting like they have it so bad, and it's like, well, I'm just working my scheduled shift. I've known somebody who take a vacation. It's like, must be nice. It's like, well, you can take one too. I can't afford it. It's like, you think I can? I took one anyway. Oh, it must be nice. Must be nice. Must be nice. That's all I hear. Must be nice. And if you're saying it as a joke, because I'll say it to a joke for people like, oh, it must be nice to work banker's hours, like, just as a joke.
Yeah.
But it ties into, like, people just being not self-aware at all, and it really irks me because it stifles any conversation you can have with them. Yeah. It makes me not want to talk to them because everything is so bad for them. And I'm not talking people that are depressed or whatever. That's, I want them to get some help. And if you feel like life is too much, that's serious.
I'm
not talking about that. I talk about taking a break. Must be nice to have a break. You have a break. What are you talking about?
It's in your employee handbook.
Like, I don't understand. Like, why? Like, some people are such victims, and it's not over something that's true. It's something stupid.
It's not something systemic. It's not something. It's not something racial. It's not something that actually exists anywhere outside of your own brain.
Yeah, and that drives me up the wall. And yeah, that's my number one.
All right.
Because I deal with it frequently, unfortunately.
On a very frequent basis. Yeah. I think we all know people like that to a certain degree. And I mean, when it gets to a certain degree, it's like, okay, this is like clinical, and I think you should speak to somebody.
Yeah. So let me repeat. If it's something clinical and serious, I'm not saying that's a problem.
Right.
That you need help.
Exactly.
It's just 'cause I'm thinking of the internet being like, well, what about if they suffer from this and this? Okay, if you suffer from that and that, I want you to get some help because that sucks.
Yes.
But I've known people over the years at work, outside of work, that are just, as far as I know, they just do not suffer from anything real serious. It's just. Right. It's just they got a crappy attitude.
The only thing they suffer from is woe is me.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for another weekly Top 5. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us down here, and we'll see you next week.